That's right, guys. Home buyers are buying houses blind still, guys.
And they're all blind.
Yeah, they're all blind.
We saw this going on last year, and it is continuing this year. You would think to yourself, why would a home buyer, one of the biggest purchases of your life, why would you go in and buy a property without seeing the inside of it, without getting inspections, without getting, appraisals, and then sometimes overpaying for the property? Not sometimes, probably most times. But why would you do that at all on the biggest purchase of your life? Well, we're going to jump into it, guys, and get into the data that shows that home buyers are still doing this. It says millennials are scooping up homes sight unseen, and it's going to change the housing market forever. Imagine spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on an object without seeing it in person or touching it. That may make most people break out into hives, but this sort of sight unseen buying has become one of the leading real estate phenomenons in the past 2 years, and it may reshape the housing market for years to come. Now, guys, listen, I'm all for innovation. I really am. I understand looking at virtual tours. I understand all of that. But for you to want to buy a property without stepping foot into it, guys, it's lunacy. It is lunacy. Do not do this. There is no way that I'm going to tell someone, buy a $300,000 home without stepping into the property, understanding if you want the property, looking at certain things, looking at the walls, looking at the foundation, looking at the roof, getting inspections done, doing all of the things that is your right to do before buying one of the biggest purchases of your life. I always explain it. Would you do this with a car? Would you go buy a car without test driving it? Would you go buy a car with, just seeing a picture of it and going, you know what, I'm going to buy that car? No, you wouldn't. Why would you do that with a $20,000 item, but then wouldn't do that with a $300,000 purchase? That makes no sense. It says more and more buyers, particularly millennials, are seeking huge sums of money into homes in which they have never set foot in. In 2020, 63% of all home buyers, it looks like it was surveyed by Redfin, made an offer on a house that they didn't experience in person. While those numbers certainly driven by the pandemic restrictions, the increase in sight unseen home buying appears to be here to stay thanks to the generational characteristics of people entering their prime home buying years. 2021 Zillow survey showed 40% of millennials were comfortable buying a home online. Almost 60%, guys, look, 60% would buy a home after getting a virtual tour, but without seeing the house in person. Guys, listen, there are so many reasons why you shouldn't do this. I think in my last video, I explained I had spoken to a client who did this exact thing. A client, he was buying an investment property, but he was telling me about the home, and he was telling me that he was going to refinance his investment property to pay for the mistake that he made by not getting an inspection in his home. He went and bought a property, sight unseen, didn't get an inspection, didn't do anything other than look at the pictures, and I think he did a virtual tour. Well, he ended up doing this, and what ended up happening is when he did the virtual tour, he did not see anything wrong. But when he moved into the home, he ended up finding out that the property had foundational issues. It had previous floods that he didn't know about. It had sewer issues. So not only did it have cracks in the foundation that it was prone to flooding, but it also backed up through the sewer system on top of that. Water coming in from the sides of the foundation, also backing up sewage. So what did he end up have to doing? He called someone in. It cost him $20,000, which made him have to refinance and pull cash out of an investment property to pay for this headache that he could have solved if he just would have went to go look at the property. But what did he tell me? Orlando, I was just trying to win the property. Like, we really wanted this property. It was in a great area, and we had to pay a little bit over. I paid $30,000 over. And, the real estate agent told me, we would have to just, to compete, we would have to, just put in an offer sight unseen and, and rush to closing as fast as possible and pay over. That was the only way, Orlando, or we would have won the property. I would have said, lose the property. That's what I would have said. I would have told him, well, then I guess that property's just not for you. If you have to make all of those concessions, you have to give away all of your rights, then you should not do it, guys. But he did it, and now he's in this predicament, guys. That is not what I want for you. You should not give up all of your things. I'm telling you, roofs. Do you know how much roofs cost? A lot. If you don't know, you're going to pay $15,000 for a standard roof, not with anything, just standard general, guys. Standard general. That could set you back a lot. And imagine something you're not finding out until you move in because you didn't get an inspection and you didn't go walk through the property. What makes all of this even more remarkable is that these virtual purchases are coming in at a time when prices of homes are soaring. The national median sales price has hit a record of $369,000 in 2022. One of the guys says that he didn't see this wave coming, but he says, why is this happening? Two big reasons, guys. It says, for starters, millennials are the first generation of homeowners to grow up in their internet age, and they are comfortable buying just about anything online, even when the price tag has 3 or more zeros at the end. But the market forces play a big role too. The real estate market is historically competitive. Homes sold faster last year than in any other year on record, and the inventory for houses for sale are low. So millennials and other home shoppers are willing to take the risk to avoid losing out on their dream home. Now, we just talked about that exact thing happening with my client, that he was told by his agent that, hey, if you want to compete in this market, you will have to give up everything, even if it puts you at risk to lose everything. Now, does that make any sense, to try to win something only to have a risk of losing everything? That doesn't make sense to me, but that is what some real estate agents are telling their I'm not saying it's all of them, but in this particular situation of my client, he told me his agent told him that. And he had no other choice in his mind to win that bid. He had to give it up, or he was not going to even have a chance at winning that bid. And I would hope that some real estate agents, and I know some real estate agents will watch this video and they'll comment in the comment section and say, I wouldn't tell my client to do that. So I know there's a bunch of agents out there that won't push their clients in that direction. But also, some clients will push their agent and say, I don't care. I'll do what I have to do. I want to win this house, and I'll do whatever it takes to win this house. We just saw the data, guys, that said 60% of millennials are saying that they would have no problem buying a house without even seeing it. 60%, guys. That is not some fickle small number, right? Some marginal number. That is a big number that people are willing to do. I get it. But let me tell you what, guys, buying on Amazon is a lot different than buying a house online. You can return items on Amazon, but you cannot return a house. And that is facts. You cannot return a house. So once again, I will say this until I turn blue. Do not overpay, okay? Not only that, make sure you get your inspections, okay? Make sure. Do not be forced into a situation where you feel that you have to win this eBay style type of auctioning and winning. Don't feel pressured. I know. It's better, easier said than done. but don't feel pressured to try to win something so bad that you're willing to lose everything. Make sure you get your inspections, make sure that you get your appraisals, make sure that you do walkthroughs to look with your own eyes that this is the property that you want to live with, because what's the worst thing that can happen? I don't know. The house can be made out of cotton candy. The house can be full of pests, the roof can be falling in, the foundation, and all of that stuff costs money, guys. And I can tell you right now, the cost of things getting fixed is the highest it's ever been. And you may think something that you knew cost $2,000 2 years ago, it now costs $4,000. So remember guys, all of that stuff does add up, and don't put yourself at risk. So hopefully you got value out of this content. I'm gonna need you to watch this next video here. It will help you learn all things that's going on in this crazy housing market, get you into your first rental property, and make sure you check out in the description to the membership program. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.